we are ready. So you will see me better now. My face was just in the sun, but you will see me better now. So we are gonna start standing up. So some of you have expressed some work to be done with the hips. Shoulders is always good. One thing, just before we start, one thing, if you have knee problems, whenever I will try to remember every time we do something with the knees to really give the alternatives. So the alternative when we're going with bent knees is always to go sit on a chair. We can do most of the movements on the chair as well. So let's start. Separating the feet a little bit wider than the hips. So maybe on the outside of the hips, because when we say hip width, we mean the hip bone at the front going right down. Start to roll the shoulders back and down. And keep, when you look from the side, I know I have a big sweater and I'll take it off in a minute. So when you roll your shoulders back this way, your arms are behind your body. So your arms don't come here. We really want to stretch out the arms, point the fingers down. So opening the chest very gently. We're not pressing the shoulder blades together. We just lift the shoulders up and then roll them back. And pull your fingertips down to the floor. This will also give a length into the neck. Donc en faisant ceci, en tirant, en poussant les doigts vers le sol, on crée aussi une ouverture dans le cou. So take a deep breath in here and then release. Bring the arms to the side, palms are facing down, les paumes vers le sol, and see if you can reach again your fingers far away from your shoulders, les doigts loin des épaules. So very often what happens, we're going to shrug our shoulders towards our ears. We don't want to do that. On veut pas amener les épaules vers les oreilles. So for that, turn the palms up. On tourne les paumes vers le ciel. As we do this, you roll your shoulders back. Shoulder blades are going down. And observe the difference that you feel into your arms. So my feet are solid. My legs are holding me. So my legs are quite strong. Reach your fingertips away. Reach away. And now keep your shoulders where they are. On garde les épaules où elles sont et on descend les paumes vers le sol. Bring the palms towards the floor. And then bring the arms back again. So to the same place as we were before. This time, interlace your hands. On entrelace les doigts. On roule les épaules en arrière. Roll the shoulders back. Shoulder blades down. This time you can bring the shoulder blades together. So we really are opening the shoulders, opening the chest here. If you have scar tissue, si vous avez des cicatrices, maybe don't pull so hard, and you can always use a towel or a strap if it's too much, and just hold like this with the strap. So rolling the shoulders back. Take a breath in, place your feet, like really plant your feet into the floor. Strong legs. And then start to lift your belly button up. On commence à lever le nombril, lever le sternum. So lift your breastbone up. So you're almost, I'm not curving in my lower back. I'm just lifting my chest up and then bring the shoulders down a little bit more. Let's do this one more time. From the feet, solid legs, tailbone goes down, pubic bone slightly up, not too much. Lifting the belly button up, creating space in the belly, and then lifting the chest and pulling the arms down. And then release. Separate your feet a little bit wider, and we're going to swing from side to side. So as you swing to the right, your left heel is lifting. Donc on va vers la gauche et vers la droite, et on lève toujours le talon opposé. So lifting the opposite heel. Leave your arms very, very loose. Les bras sont très, très, très légers. So just, you probably tap yourself. We're just loosening. So just don't think too much. Just go. And then last time. And then coming back to center. You're going to separate your feet, this time even a little bit more wide, more separated. I'm going to take this bulky sweater off and then bend your knees just a little bit. So just observe how that feels. So if you have hip problems, you really want to work with your bum muscles to hold everything here. We're going to inhale, lengthen the legs. Exhale, fold, let it drop down. So inhale, push into your feet, lengthen your legs. Exhale through the mouth, letting go. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale and stay here. On reste ici. And separate your feet a little bit more. Toes are slightly pointing in. Les orteils légèrement vers l'intérieur. Bring your hands onto your hips. So my knees are still bent for the moment. Les mains sur les hanches. And then start to lengthen into your legs. On allonge les jambes. Roll the shoulder blades back. Lift your elbows up. And you can gently look forward. So don't bring too much strain into your neck. Pas trop de mal dans le cou. Mais on veut amener le cœur vers l'avant. You can look diagonally to the front. So inhale. From the hip crease, start to bend a little bit more forward. De la charnière des hanches, avec un dos droit, on va un peu plus vers l'avant. And then again, bend your knees, on plie les genoux, straight spine, push into your feet and come all the way up. And bring your feet closer to each other. This time, feet same width as your hips. So, les pieds à la largeur des hanches, ce qui veut dire les os ici devant tombent au milieu des pieds. Let's bring the hands onto the shoulders. Les mains sur les épaules, roulez les épaules en arrière. So again, finding that opening in the chest, but also in the back. And then inhale, start to bend towards the left. On va vers la gauche. My left elbow comes as close as possible as I can to my waist. Donc, on essaie d'amener le coude le plus proche possible sur le haut du corps. And I'm lifting my right shoulder up to the sky. Je lève mon coude droit vers le ciel. Watch out that you don't push your hips back. Donc, on ne veut pas amener les hanches vers la droite. On veut vraiment juste aller ouvrir tout ce côté ici du corps, le côté droit. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly coming back. Lengthen again, lift the chest, shoulder blades back, shoulder blades down, shoulders back. Inhale, and this time go to the other side. My upper arms stay in one line. Donc, le haut des bras reste en une ligne. Press your feet down. See if you can open up a little bit more on the left side. So don't start to hang forward, and it's a rotation that's not very healthy for your spine. So we're in between two walls. Inhale, exhale. Et puis on revient. Keep your hands on your shoulders. This time, start to bring the right shoulder to the left, opening and twisting. So keep that shoulder there. Take a few breaths in. I try to keep my hips as much as possible to the front. And then I continue my circle. I'm lifting my left elbow, and then I go to the right with my left elbow. So I'm really pushing my elbow, my shoulder away from my spine. J'amène mon épaule gauche loin de la colonne. And then continue. And this time, moving the elbows. So we're really working those shoulder blades now. On travaille les omoplates. As if you were swimming, crawl, but very bizarrely. And then go back. On change de direction. On ouvre la poitrine cette fois-ci à chaque mouvement. So you go to what's the limit for you. What is this edge? Move slower if you feel that there is fear coming up, and then coming back, opening the arms. And then with your shoulders again rolling back, stretch out your arms. On veut vraiment étirer les bras. And we're going to close the Fingers open, close, open, close, open, a few times. So all this is working the arms. And then turn the palms down. On tourne les paumes vers le sol. And then bend into your wrist. On plie dans les poignets and push the wall away. Push the two walls away. Watch out for your shoulders. Roll the shoulders back. Press your hands away. And then release. Bring the chin to the chest, so shoulders back, shoulders remain in position. On amène le menton vers la poitrine and start to make circles with your head. So from the center to the shoulder, from the shoulder to the center. If for you doing a complete turn is comfortable, you can do that. I'm not a big fan of it, but by all means, you know your body. So just being careful with your neck. And then coming back to center, chin to the chest, roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades down. Donc les mentons vers la poitrine, les épaules en arrière, les omoplates vers le bas. Take your hands and place them where the skull and the cervical spine touch. Donc on entrelace les doigts, on met les mains à la place où le crâne et la colonne cervicale touchent. Open your elbows, on ouvre les coudes, on redescend les omoplates. Inhale, and then very gently start to pull the skin of your skull towards the front. And I'm going to bring my elbows closer and closer to each other. On ramène les coudes un peu plus proches l'un de l'autre et on bouge la peau du crâne vers l'avant. Donc, grand étirement dans le cou, grand étirement dans la partie haute de la colonne. Take deep breaths in and then exhale, maybe go a little bit deeper. And then slowly come up and release. Okay, so let's come to the front of the mat. Coming to your mountain pose, position de montagne. Roll the shoulders back, elbows back, chest is open. Place your hands onto your hips and take a step back with your right foot. So big step back. Walk your left foot even a little bit more to the front if you can. On amène le pied gauche même un peu plus vers l'avant. And then lift your back heel. On lève le talon arrière. And what you want to do, you want to keep that back leg, that right leg, super, super strong. On veut garder la jambe droite très forte. Inspirez. On ouvre, le haut du corps est bien stable et on expire. On commence à plier le genou gauche. So if you have knee problems, make sure that your quadriceps is strong, that you press your left foot into the floor, and that your back leg is holding you. So inhale, exhale, go a little bit deeper. Continue to press the back heel back, activate that back leg. On active la jambe arrière. You can stay here with your hands on your thighs or on your hips, or you can bring your arms up. And then with every exhale, release a little bit more. So if you're very flexible, si vous êtes très flexible, on risque de vraiment tomber dans la pose. So make sure you activate all the muscles then to support you. Si on est plutôt du côté raide, if you're more stiff, then work with your breath and every exhale, see if you can release a little bit more. If this is all too much balancing, keep your hands on your thigh. If it's still too much, you can always drop your knee onto the floor. Inhale, exhale. And then press into your left foot. En poussant le pied gauche, on allonge la jambe gauche, pardon. And then open up to the side. So wide-legged, arms are to the side. Place your hands onto your hips. And we're going to turn to the other side. So you already have the distance. Turn the right foot to the short side of your mat. Lift your left heel and make sure that the knees, the hips, everything is pointing in the same direction. So first stabilizing that back leg, strong back leg. Push towards the back heel. And then very slowly starting to go a little bit lower, bending the front knee. On plie le genou droit, on va un peu plus bas. Mais on plie pas le genou gauche. So don't bend the back knee. If it's too much bent, then just bring the knee on the floor. So pressing back. It's opening the groin area. On ouvre l'aine de la jambe gauche. If you want to go a little bit further, you can reach your arms up. But really reach onto the fingertips so that you feel that elongation in the upper body. Inspirez, expirez. And then release your hands, press into your front foot, and again, come to the front. Keep the length between your legs. On garde la largeur entre les pieds, between the feet, sorry. Toes are slightly pointing in. Les orteils légèrement vers le centre. If you have a block and you know you're a little bit stiffer in your hamstrings, you can use a block. You can also use a chair, the wall, or a table to come to the front. Roll the shoulders back from your hip crease. So you can place your fingers in the hip crease. On peut mettre les doigts dans la charnière des hanches, gently coming forward. And then from here, start to drop your head. On laisse aller la tête. Start to drop your upper body. Donc, le haut du corps se relâche. On est toujours fort dans les jambes. And then bring your hands wherever they're going to touch. So, if your hands are not touching the floor, and if you are okay with separating your feet a little bit more, go for it. If you lose stability when you separate your feet, keep your feet where they are, and you can grab the opposite elbow. On peut accrocher les coudes opposés and just let it go. So big stretch in the back legs. You can always place your hands down on the floor, drop your head. Donc on veut vraiment laisser aller dans le haut du corps. Inspirez, expirez. And now we are going to place our right hand somewhere on our right leg. Donc, on va accrocher notre jambe droite avec notre main droite. And then doing the same on the left side. So we really want to hold on to our legs somewhere. It can be behind your thighs as well. And now inhale, see if you can lengthen your upper body. So we're much lower than what we were before. Lengthen the upper body. Roll the shoulders back. On roule les épaules en arrière. Et on amène la main droite en dessous de notre figure. So this time, place the right hand under your face. My arm is straight, so if you need a block here, please take a block. Left hand on the lower back, palm down. La main droite sur le bas du dos, la paume vers le sol. Inspirez, allongez le haut du corps. Lengthen the upper body. And then exhale, start to rotate towards the left. On fait une rotation vers la gauche. So you want to roll that left shoulder back and away, opening up. See if you can keep your hips in the center. Regardez si vous pouvez garder vos hanches au centre. Inspirez. Et puis on expire. On revient au centre. On change de main. Changing hands. So left hand under your face. Right hand on the lower back. And press into your left hand and start to open up towards the right. On ouvre vers la droite. Inspirez, expirez. And then coming back to center. Both hands are on the floor. Walk your feet closer to each other. On ramène les pieds plus proches. So bend your knees if you need to. Pliez les genoux si vous en avez besoin. And this time, bend your knees even more. Place your belly onto your thighs. Donc le ventre sur les cuisses. Place your hands onto your hips. Les mains sur les hanches. On roule les épaules en arrière. Et on va aller s'asseoir dans une chaise. Go and sit into a chair. So I'm still very close. Belly, thighs. Je m'assieds dans la chaise, beaucoup de travail dans les jambes, and then very slowly start to come all the way up. On se lève. So I know it's a little bit harder than what we usually do. Je sais que c'est un peu plus que ce qu'on fait d'habitude, but we have to be ready for spring, right? It's next weekend. So let's come to the front of the mat. On roule les épaules en arrière, beautiful mountain pose. Inspirez, expirez. Inhale, reach the arms up to the level that's comfortable for you. Expirez en pliant de la charnière des hanches. So bend forward from your hip crease. Keep your legs straight until your hamstrings are screaming. And then start to bend your knees, roll the upper body down. Place your hands onto the floor. Bring the right foot back, big step back for a warrior two. Donc, on va en guerrier 2. Les talons sont en une ligne, le pied gauche, les orteils pointent vers le côté court du tapis, le pied droit vers le côté long. Et puis, on se lève, on fait comme un moulin, like a windmill coming up. So, you want to have your hips parallel with the side of your mat, or at least as much as possible. My front knee is bent. Mon genou avant est plié. So remember what we did before, where we are going to bend, but you want to keep that back leg very strong. So for a moment, just come up, unbend your front leg, and now start to press the outside of your back foot into the floor. On pousse l'extérieur du pied arrière dans le sol. Bring your arms to the side. Feel that strength into your back leg. So you don't want to go all lifting the arch too much. On ne veut pas aller lever l'intérieur du pied. On veut juste mettre plus de poids dans l'extérieur. And now, with that, you're going to start to bend your left knee. On commence à plier le genou gauche. On garde la force dans la jambe arrière. So this should make the position much more stable. If your arms to the side doesn't work, keep your hands on your hips for now. On va regarder le genou gauche. Look at your left bent knee. If the knee is falling in, place your hand onto your thigh and roll your thigh out. But keep that right leg straight. Donc, quand on roule avec la main, la cuisse gauche vers l'extérieur, souvent, qu'est-ce qui se passe? La hanche va bouger. So we want to keep that balance between the two. And then this time, reach your arms out. On regarde vers la main gauche. Watch your left hand. And then turn the left palm up. On tourne la paume gauche vers le ciel et on lève. Lifting up. Opening for warrior 4, dancing warrior. Inhale, exhale. Don't unbend your front knee. Donc le genou avant reste bien plié. On lève vers le ciel. And then slowly coming back into your warrior 2. This time, press into your front foot. On pousse dans le pied avant pour allonger les deux jambes. So if you have hip problems, this is a lot of work on the hips. I realize that, but it's just working those muscles so that your hips are a little bit better supported. Reaching the arms out. Place your left hand in your left hip crease. On met la main gauche dans la charnière gauche. Turn the right palm up. And then lift your right arm up. On lève le bras droit. And then very slowly, we're going to reach with our right hand over. Don't drop your head. On plie pas la tête, le cou. On continue d'essayer d'aller le plus loin possible avec notre main droite. You can keep your right hand onto your hip if that's too much for you with the stretch. On va mettre la main gauche sur la cuisse gauche. So left hand onto your left thigh. Reaching. And we're in beautiful triangle pose. So strong legs here. Opening. Feel the opening on the right side, but don't collapse into your left side. So, si vous sentez que vous tombez dans le côté gauche, poussez un peu plus avec la main gauche dans la cuisse pour allonger le haut du corps. Et puis, prochaine inspiration, on revient vers le centre. On plie les genoux. On amène les pieds vers l'avant. Et on va fermer les jambes. And close your legs. So, we're going to do the other side. On va à l'autre côté. Come into your mountain pose. Position de montagne. Inspirez, levez les bras vers le ciel. Expirez, on plie en deux. So folding forward. Bring the hands down. So if your knees are bent, it's fine. Take a big step back with your left foot. The heels are on one line. Les talons sont en une ligne, pied gauche. Les orteils pointent vers le côté long, pied droit vers le côté court. Et puis on se lève en guerrier 2. So adjust your warrior. Have a look at your front knee. On regarde le genou droit. S'il tombe vers l'intérieur, on roule la cuisse vers l'extérieur. On pousse l'extérieur du pied arrière dans le sol. Find your stability here. On va essayer de trouver sa stabilité ici. Look at your right hand. On regarde vers la main droite. Tournez la paume vers le ciel. Turn the palm towards the sky. And then lift up. Opening that right side. Inhale, exhale. And then coming back into your warrior two. On revient en guerrier 2. Et on pousse dans la jambe avant. Press into your front leg, your right leg. Both legs are straight now. Right hand in the right hip crease. So not on the hip, but in the hip crease. Bien dans la charnière, celle de là qu'on va plier. Reach your left arm up. Palm is facing towards your right side. And then reach up. Reach for something with your left hand. As you start to bend in your hip crease, upper body stays straight, le haut du corps reste bien allongé, long. La limite va sans doute être l'intérieur de la cuisse droite. So the limit will be your inner thigh, reaching out. And then slowly coming back. Bend your front knee again. Bring the toes to the front, hands onto the hips, and bring the feet together. So we're going to do one balance pose. If you have hip issues, we're going to do the tree pose. On va faire l'arbre. So if you have hip issues, a better way to do will be with a chair or a bench or something that has a little bit of height. Donc, je vais d'abord juste montrer au cas où vous avez des problèmes de hanche, or if you know that your stability is totally off, or if you want to explore this. Donc, quand on emploie la chaise, c'est pour mettre le pied dessus. But you want to still have the knee and the hip as much as possible aligned without creating a twist. Donc, on penche pas sur le pied droit. So we're not leaning and putting all the weight. The weight will always stay in our standing leg. This is going to help to relax a little bit in the hip as we go up. So if you don't use a chair, then we do the traditional tree pose, la position traditionnelle. So let's start with our hands on our hips, whether you use a chair or not. So if you're using the chair, you're going to lift your knee up, open up, and then place your foot on the chair. If you don't use a chair, you're going to turn your right foot out to start. And then lift your knee up. If you want, you can grab your ankle and place a foot on the inside of your leg. If your pants are gliding, you can hold on to your ankle. Si pour vous, ça c'est trop haut, if this is too high because of the hip, then you bring your foot below your knee. Okay? But don't forget the standing leg. On n'oublie pas la jambe qui nous supporte. So, reimagine your mountain pose. On réimagine notre position de montagne. Et on pousse le pied. On pousse du pied vers. Donc, quand on est en montagne, on pousse du pied. Tout à fait, on grandit et tout nous garde stable. So, when we're here, we do the same thing, the supporting leg or here, it doesn't matter. Supporting leg is really supporting and then pushing all that strength up. So you can keep your hands onto your hips. You can bring your hands in prayer pose or be a tree or a cactus. So just try to find a stable position. If that means keeping your hands in front of your heart, stay there. So we're going to stay here for 7 breaths. On va rester ici pour 7 respirations. So count your breaths and when you're done, you come out. If you fall out, start from the beginning. And then slowly bring the knee to the front and come down. So if you were using the chair, you can or turn around or move the chair to the other side. If you need support, you can always use the wall, but just the fingertips, don't lean into the wall. So let's go to the other side. On va aller de l'autre côté. Strong legs. Beautiful mountain pose. Placing the hands onto your hips. Weight is going to come onto your right leg or the other leg, whatever you did. And then lift up, grab the ankle. So if you're using the chair, you're going to place your foot on the chair. Otherwise, place a foot above or below your knee. If you fall out, start from the beginning. Donc, si on tombe, on commence du début. C'est comme construire une maison. Si la maison s'écroule parce que la fondation n'est pas forte, il faut reconstruire la fondation. Only when you're stable, you bring your hands wherever you want to bring them. Donc, les mains sont la cerise sur le gâteau. Strong supporting leg. 5 more breaths here. 5 autres respirations ici. And then bring the hands on the hips, the knee to the front, and come down. Okie dokie. So we're going to do some work on the floor. On va aller faire du travail au sol. Enfin, travail, c'est un grand mot. So if you have a strap or a belt or something, that would be ideal. If you don't have that, a belt from a bathrobe or from une ceinture simplement, or even a long towel that you can use, okay? So we're gonna go, just put that on the side, come to the front of the mat, take a breath in, reach your arms up, and again, find that length. Press your feet down, push the fingertips up, and then exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands down, bring the right leg back and the left leg back. And we're going to come onto a plank. On vient en planche. Donc, si la planche est trop, déposez vos genoux. Mais pas en table. So when you bring the knees down for a plank, your knees are way behind your hips. Okay, so still some work to be done into the abdominals. Take a breath in and a breath out. And now, if your knees are on the floor, that's fine. Otherwise, bring the knees down, push into your hands, on pousse dans les mains. Tuck your toes, on retrousse les orteils si vous avez changé, and then start to lift your hips up. Lifting up, long spine, keep your knees bent. On inspire, on expire. So we're only going to do one downward facing dog today, so let's make it a good one. On va juste faire un chien à la tête baissée aujourd'hui, donc on va en faire un super beau. Inhale, exhale, press your hips up to the sky. And then bring the knees down. On amène les genoux au sol. Walk your hands back. Come onto your knees. So if you have knee problems, you might want to just sit on the chair for the following, because it's difficult to do with the legs forward. So tuck your toes if you're not sitting on the chair. Roll the shoulders back, elbows back. Place the hands onto your bum. Les mains sur les fesses. I'll show you on the chair in a minute. Take a breath in. Lift your chest. So it is a back bend. On va aller vers l'arrière, but the bend starts in the upper back, not in the lower back. So to start, with the heel of your hand, press your bum down. On pousse les fesses vers le bas afin que le coccyx descende, so that the tailbone goes down. Inhale, and then from the top of your spine, start to bend back. So really imagine one vertebrae at a time opening at the front. If you feel something in the lower back, come back up. See if you can bring the tailbone a little bit lower. Focus on the upper back. So opening up. So continue doing that. Continue breathing. If you're on the chair, you want to do it this way. So you're going to sit on the edge of the chair. You're going to roll the shoulders back, grab the back of your chair, and then do the same thing. You have the advantage that you can bend your elbows here and that there is much more control in the lower back. So opening up, it's a chest opener. I know you have, for certain of you, there's some limitation in opening here, but we want to keep that area very active. We want to keep it alert, bring it some attention, and then slowly coming back. Now, bring your legs to the front. So I'm going to see that I can show you. I hope you, yeah, you can see my toes. So if you know that you're falling back here, please sit on something so that you don't fall on the back of your sitting bones. Your legs are strong and straight. Roll the shoulders back, place the hands next to the hips. On met les mains à côté des hanches. Et on pousse dans les mains. Press into your hands. Je vois qu'il y en a quelques-uns qui bougent pour réajuster la caméra. So let's just keep our spine long here. If your arms are too short, come onto your fists. If your bum lifts, that's fine. Take advantage of moving a little bit more to the front of your sitting bones. Legs are strong. Mes jambes sont très actives. And then inhale, reach the arms up. This one is a really hard one. So don't be surprised. Ne soyez pas surpris si vous trouvez ceci très difficile. Can you move your arms back a little bit? And by all means, keep your hands on your shoulders if there's too much pulling in your chest. But what we're looking for is creating length into the spine. And then exhale, bring the hands down again. Cette fois-ci, on plie le genou droit, bend your right knee. So for those who want to go a little bit further, you can bring your right foot over your left and then bend your left knee. If you have knee problems, please don't do this. Keep your left leg just straight forward. Donc, si on a des problèmes de genoux, on va juste garder la jambe gauche vers l'avant. If you feel that you're really leaning onto your left bum, si on est vraiment tout le poids sur la hanche gauche, la fesse gauche, then also you keep your leg to the front. So you want to have your right foot flat on the floor, le pied droit plat au sol. If you're using a chair, this is that we're going to twist. So you know you sit on the side and you can twist with the help of your chair. I think we've done this before. So you should know how to do it. So interlace your fingers, place them under your knee. On entrelace les doigts en dessous du genou. On inspire et on roule les épaules en arrière. For some of you, this might already be a good hip opener. So, but we're going to go for a twist. But especially if your left knee is bent, you might feel some stretch into your right hip. Inspirez, on retrouve cette élongation qu'on a été chercher avant. So you find a length again into your spine. And then inhale, reach your right arm up. So my right knee is bent, my right arm is up. On inspire et on veut le plus d'espace possible dans le haut du corps. On expire, on tourne vers la droite. Hold on to your right knee. On retient le genou droit. And then bring the right hand in the back. La main droite à l'arrière, derrière le dos. So have a look at your right shoulder. Regardez votre épaule droite. Is the right shoulder falling forward? Then again, make that movement, rolling the shoulder back, shoulder blade down. That's going to give you a whole different sensation. If you want, si vous voulez, on lève le bras gauche et on dépose le coude gauche à l'extérieur du genou. So as you bring the elbow on the outside of the knee, it's possible that you lean forward. So make sure you find length again into your upper body. On s'assure de retrouver la longueur dans le haut du corps. Inspirez, expirez. So with every exhale, we twist a little bit more, maybe. One more inhale, exhale, twist. And then very slowly coming back. Lengthen both legs. On rallonge les deux jambes. So if you kept your left leg straight, just keep it straight now. Inspirez. This time, bend your left knee. Place your left foot over your left thigh. If you want to go further, bend your right knee, but make sure you seat it centered so that you're not totally leaning to the side. If you're leaning, you have a bend in your spine and then you can't twist, because if you try to twist, it's not going to be very nice. So sit up straight as much as possible, or keep your right leg to the front. Again, let's try to make a little bit of length. So wiggle yourself up. Interlace your hands. Entrelacez les mains et on les place en dessous du genou. So place your hands underneath the knee. Roll the shoulders back, lengthening. Keep your right hand on where it is and then reach your left arm up. Allongez le corps à nouveau. On tourne en expirant. Turn as you exhale. Bring the left hand to the floor. Roll the shoulder back. On roule l'épaule en arrière. So that's really just that is creating a whole different sensation. If you want, reach your right arm up and then place it on the outside of your left knee. On place le coude à l'extérieur du genou gauche et on allonge. Breathing in, lengthening, breathing out, rotating. And it's probably very, very little movement. Relax your belly, on relaxe le ventre. And then slowly coming back to center and bring the legs to the front. So shake out your legs, grab your strap. If you don't have the strap, don't worry, I'll give you the alternative. And this time we're gonna bring the feet, the soles together, open the knees. So again, if you need to sit on something, please do. It's much more comfortable. Take your strap and place it around your feet so that you're gonna push your feet into the floor, but I'm gonna be able to roll my shoulders back, keep my elbows close to my body. So this is a hip opener. So if you have tight hip or pain into your hips, hold on to the strap and be very conscious about the movement. We will all be very conscious about the movement. But so now start to press your heels together as you see if you can bring the knees lower. So I'm not pushing into my knees here. I want to keep my spine straight. I'm holding onto the strap. It's possible that you feel that you move a little bit to the front. That's perfect. So pushing those knees down, creating space from the hip towards the knees. On crée de l'espace des hanches vers les genoux. Mais c'est vraiment avec les muscles qu'on est en train de ouvrir nos hanches. So opening the hips, rolling the shoulders back. Inhaling, exhaling. If you're seated on a chair, if you can bring your feet a little bit higher on a pillow or something, and then place the soles of the feet together, you can do the same thing. You don't need a strap, but you can just consciously trying to push your knees to the side. And then release the strap. Take your hands, place them on the outside of your knees, and then bring the knees together. On amène les genoux ensemble. This time we're going to slowly go all the way down to the floor. Donc on va aller se coucher au sol, amener les genoux vers la poitrine. Take a breath in and a breath out. Lengthen your left leg on the floor. On allonge la jambe gauche au sol, on garde le genou droit proche de sa poitrine. So keep the right knee close towards your chest. Take the strap and place it around your right foot. On met la sangle autour du pied droit. So you don't want to place it in the arch. On ne veut pas le placer dans l'arche du pied. On veut le placer autour des coussins des orteils. So around the ball mount of your toes, that's where you're going to place your strap. If you have a long strap, si vous avez une sangle qui est assez longue, gardez les coudes au sol. If your strap is short, lengthen your arms, but don't be in between the two. Donc, on ne veut pas être entre les deux. And then press your heel up, as if you were standing on the floor, comme si on était au sol, on pousse le talon vers le ciel. Mais ça ne veut pas dire qu'on lève la hanche droite. So it doesn't mean that you're lifting your right hip. It means as you exhale, you're pushing your hip down. Your knee is straight. So if your leg is here, that's fine. That's why we have the strap also. La jambe ne doit pas être droite. Again, the hamstrings are stretching here, so the leg needs to be straight. And then make sure that your toes are at the same distance from your feet. So not that the big toe points towards your face and the little toe towards the ceiling. They're all equidistant from your face. So do this a few times, inhaling, pushing the heel away, exhaling, pushing the hip down, creating that space within your leg. And then slowly start to bring the leg over to the left. Keep the strap into your both hands. On garde la sangle dans les deux mains, mais on amène la jambe juste un peu vers la gauche. So don't lift the right hip. On lève pas la hanche gauche. We're just gonna stretch that side, that outside of our right leg. On étire juste l'extérieur de notre jambe droite. Inspirez, expirez. Et on inspire, on revient au centre. Cette fois-ci, on prend la sangle dans la main droite. So take the strap into your right hand. Place your left hand on your left hip bone, so on the top. You don't want any movement into that left hip bone. On veut rien qui bouge dans la hanche gauche. And then very slowly start to open your right leg towards the right. Make it that you control the movement. On contrôle le mouvement. If you reach the point where your upper arm can be on the floor, drop your upper arm on the floor. Continue opening if you can. Stretch your legs. La jambe est toujours droite. Si on n'a pas de sangle, on plie le genou, on met la main droite sur le genou droit et on ouvre de côté comme ça. It's not the same movement, but it's still working into the hips. Donc avec la sangle, on peut vraiment aller ouvrir les hanches, tout en gardant la hanche gauche au sol. Si elle se lève, on ne fait pas grand-chose. So if your left hip is lifting and turning, it actually defeats the purpose of opening the hips, opening the inner thighs. Et puis tout doucement, on revient au centre. On prend la sangle dans la main gauche, on ouvre le bras droit, opening the right arm to the right in a half T, strap in your left, and then this time, lift your right bum. On lève la fesse droite et on s'en va vers la gauche. Your left toes are turning towards the left as well. And again, stretch out that leg. If you have a wall that's in the way, press your foot into the wall. That's a good response. You don't have to start to move all over just for these few breaths. Just use the wall here as a test, a response, making sure your leg is straight. So you'll feel quite a lot of stretching as you do this normally. And then slowly coming back to center. Taking the strap off, on enlève la sangle, on garde la jambe bien levée, and then slowly bring the leg down. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring both knees into the chest. On amène les deux genoux vers la poitrine. Allongez la jambe droite, lengthen the right leg. Keep the left knee into the chest, and this time bring the strap around the left foot. So make sure it's at the right position. Lengthen your left leg. On allonge la jambe gauche. The right leg is staying active. Like we cannot just forget one part of our body. Everything has to work. Push your heel away. Push your hip into the floor. So make the choice depending on the length of your strap, elbows on the floor or arms straight, not something in between. Because then we are not very conscious about our shoulders, about what we're actually doing. So let's make straight lines with what we're doing. So pushing up, pushing down. And then keep the strap into both your hands and bring the left leg slightly over to the right. Donc, on amène la jambe gauche légèrement vers la droite, feeling all these strange things happening, strange stretches. Inspirez, expirez. And then bring this leg back in position. On ramène la jambe en position. Take the strap into your left hand, right hand on your right hip bone, and start to open up. Open up towards the left. Push that right hip into the floor. Keep it where it is. Maybe you need to come up a little bit and wiggle just a little bit. Inhaling, exhaling. On inspire et on expire. And then slowly coming back to center. On revient au centre. Change hands. La sangle dans la main droite. Open the left arm in a T. Le bras droit en T. And bring that left leg all the way over to the right. Keep it straight. Lots of stretching happening. I know. So if it's too much, come a little bit higher. Don't start to bend because then we defeat the purpose. Make sure you can still breathe. That's your indicator if you're going too far. And then slowly coming back to center. On revient au centre. Take the strap away. On enlève la sangle, on la met de côté. And then slowly bring that left leg down. Separate your legs as wide as your mat. On sépare les jambes aussi larges que le tapis. And then let your feet flop out. Turn your palms up. Your arms are not glued against your body or not in a T. They're somewhere in between. Roll the shoulders back if you need to. Find a comfortable pose. If you feel that your lower back is too much curved, si vous sentez que le bas du dos, il y a trop de courbe, donc le bas du dos doit vraiment pouvoir reposer. Bend your knees for a moment. Lift your hips and round your lower back and then roll it out. Donc, on veut à nouveau amener ce coccyx vers les talons. And then lengthen your legs again. Start to take a few deep breaths in and out. On prend quelques bonnes respirations. You can exhale through your mouth just to release even more. Letting go, on laisse aller. So since we're all practicing at home, if you want to stay longer, if you need some more time, I would invite you to really stay longer. If you're ready to come out slowly. Sortez doucement. Otherwise, you bring your body again into a fight and flight reaction. So move slowly. Slowly make your way to a comfortable seated position. Keeping the eyes closed if that's comfortable. You can bring your hands in front of your heart, gently tucking your chin. Thank you all for participating, for taking care of yourself, and for sharing that with me. And I wish you a wonderful day. Namaste.
Thank you, Vi. It was fine. None of my knees hurt.
Who is talking? I don't know who's talking. Oh, Rosetta, are you talking?
I was,
Okay.
yeah, it was, yeah. I was
Okay,
telling
thank
you that I didn't have any pain on my knees. Everything was